Have you ever experienced a strange buzzing sound in your ear for no clear reason? It's a high-pitched, brief sound that's almost impossible to notice at first, but seems to come from somewhere else, almost another realm. What if I told you that this sound isn't just random? What if it's actually a message from the universe? A sign that something from the spiritual world is trying to reach you. In ancient cultures, the ear was seen as a sacred channel, a way through which celestial energies could enter. That faint buzzing sound was often interpreted as a sign, a warning, or even a divine call. It wasn't just a physical thing, but a vibrational signal that something within your soul was shifting, aligning, or awakening. In this video, we'll dive into one of the most mysterious experiences many of us have felt, but few truly understand. When you hear an unexplained buzz in your ear, it could be a burst of spiritual energy, an upgrade to your frequency, or even the presence of an angelic being or guide nearby. Does this mean you're going through a spiritual awakening? Or could it be a warning your soul needs to hear before your mind does? Get ready to explore the invisible. We'll look into its spiritual meaning across ancient traditions, how it connects with the activation of the pineal gland, the opening of the third eye and kundalini energy, and why your consciousness might be undergoing a powerful transition. You're not here by chance. If you've experienced these ear buzzes, the universe may be trying to tell you something. Remember, the universe doesn't shout, it whispers. Only those who listen with their soul can hear its message. Throughout history, the ear has been more than just a physical organ for hearing sound. To ancient civilizations, it was a spiritual antenna, a receiver of messages from the unseen world. Strange buzzing or beeping sounds weren't viewed as medical issues, but as divine signals, cosmic codes, or warnings. For example, in ancient Egypt, it was believed that the right ear was connected to divine perception, while the left ear absorbed vibrations from the material world. A buzz in one ear or the other could be seen as a sign from the spiritual world, or an energetic interference needing attention. In mystical practices, such as those of the priests of Isis and Thoth, deep listening was an essential skill. They didn't just hear sounds, they listened with their soul. In Vedic India, buzzing sounds were seen as stages of spiritual awakening, especially during the rise of kundalini, when vital energy moves up the spine. One of the first signs is a subtle sound known as nada, which is not heard externally but through inner energy channels. The Jnana Yoga Pradipika texts describe this as a manifestation of nada bindu, a mystical sound that connects the yogi with the absolute. Taoist practices also recognize this. In Chinese internal alchemy, certain sounds heard during meditation were seen as messages from the energy body, signals that the practitioner was reaching higher states of consciousness. A persistent buzz could mean the practitioner was in touch with Shen, the pure spirit, or that their energy channels were being purified. Even the Bible speaks of this. In the book of Samuel it says, "And the Lord spoke to him, and there was a whisper, a soft murmur in his ear." In prophetic symbolism, the ear is the organ chosen by the divine to speak quietly to the soul, not through noise but through subtle vibrations. The Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah teaches that the voice of God, known as the Bat Kol, is heard as a gentle echo, perceived only by those with purified hearts. It's not a loud voice, but a soft vibration, a sound that could easily be mistaken for a simple buzz in the ear. Across these traditions, there is a common thread. The ear, specifically the subtle inner ear, is seen as a channel for communication with higher realms. The buzz isn't a medical issue, it's a sign of transition, awakening, and activation. It's not something to ignore, it's something to perceive. In today's noisy world, we've lost touch with the ability to listen inwardly. We brush off the whispers of the soul as random or bothersome. But ancient cultures knew something we're just starting to rediscover. When the soul aligns with higher frequencies, the body responds and the ear opens up. Next, we'll take a deeper look at how this phenomenon shows up in modern life, how to tell if a buzzing is spiritual or just physical, and why this mysterious sound might be an invitation to raise your consciousness. Imagine tuning an old radio. As you turn the dial, you start picking up hidden signals through the static. Suddenly, a clear frequency comes through, a voice, a melody, a message that was always there, but you couldn't hear it until now. The universe works the same way. That uninvited buzz might be the universe signaling that you're tuning into a higher frequency. This isn't a medical condition like tinnitus. It's not a malfunction of your ears. What we're talking about is an energetic shift, a sensitivity that awakens as your consciousness expands. It's an echo from the invisible realm that shows up in the sensory world. And for those on a spiritual path, it can be a guide to higher frequencies. Everything in the universe emits a frequency. Your thoughts, emotions, energy field, places, and even people. When you go through a spiritual experience, deep meditation, or an energetic shift, your energy body starts to pick up new frequencies. The ear, as part of the subtle sensory system, detects these frequencies before your other senses can. It's as if you're receiving a message from a higher source. Some people call it an energetic download, others call it vibrational channeling. But one thing's clear, these frequencies aren't random. They have meaning, and if you learn to understand them, they can become powerful tools for your spiritual growth. What do these ear buzzes really mean in everyday terms? First, notice which ear they're coming from. In esoteric tradition, the right ear is often linked to spiritual matters, your higher self, or beings of light. If you feel a buzz in that ear, it might be a sign of guidance, a message, or a subtle warning from the universe. On the other hand, the left ear is typically tied to the physical world, emotions, and your unconscious mind. A buzz there might point to energetic blockages, internal struggles, or even the presence of negative energies that need your attention. Next, pay attention to the tone of the buzz. A high-pitched sound, almost like a celestial beep, might suggest activation of your pineal gland or an alignment of your third eye. These moments are often connected to heightened intuition, lucid dreams, or extrasensory experiences. A lower, deeper buzz, on the other hand, may indicate the opening of lower chakras or an adjustment in your energy field to release trapped energy. Timing also matters. If the buzz happens during meditation, prayer, an emotional moment, or just before sleep, it could be a sign that you're crossing a significant energetic threshold, like opening an invisible door to briefly hear the hidden song of the universe. These buzzes can also be linked to so-called light codes, subtle packets of information downloaded into your consciousness. Though you might not consciously understand them, your soul recognizes these frequencies. That's why, after an intense buzz, you might experience sudden clarity, creative inspiration, or a deep sense of connection to something greater. The buzz stops being just noise and becomes a key to higher vibration. Now, let's explore the more complex and lesser-known aspects of this phenomenon. Negative interference. How do you tell the difference between a genuine spiritual message and a distorted energy? What do you do when the buzzes become frequent, intense, or confusing? The invisible world is speaking. You just need to fine-tune your spiritual ears. Earlier, we talked about ear buzzes as gateways to spiritual perception, but now it's time to dig deeper. Every open channel, every sensitive antenna can pick up not only light but also interference. Expanding consciousness is not always a smooth or linear process. It's often a deep, energetic adjustment that involves navigating gray areas, contradictions, and resistance. And ear buzzes can reflect these moments of crossing into the unknown or unresolved. In the esoteric worldview, just as there are higher frequencies guiding us, There are also distorted energy fields that can mislead, drain, or confuse us. These interferences aren't necessarily malevolent. They're often vibrational residues, collective emotional burdens, or karmic memories triggered when you're about to make a significant shift in consciousness. So when an ear buzz becomes persistent, bothersome, or even painful, you need to ask yourself, is this a true signal, or am I picking up a frequency that doesn't belong to me? Discernment is key, and intuition alone may not be enough. Regular energetic self-care is crucial because a cluttered mind, a blocked body, or a negative environment can turn a helpful signal into noise. What could have been a gentle guide can quickly become confusion. Some spiritual teachers believe persistent buzzes happen when you're resisting necessary change. Your soul wants to release a truth or reach a new level, but your personality resists due to fear or attachment. In this case, the buzz acts as a form of energetic pressure, a reminder that something within you needs to shift. Others say some buzzes come not from the outside world, but from above, echoes of your higher self trying to communicate something urgent. These buzzes often show up during important decisions, key encounters, or moments of revelation. They act like a spiritual alarm, urging you to stay awake and aware. We also need to talk about artificial vibrational interference. Some esoteric traditions believe certain technologies, known or unknown, can emit waves that disrupt the human energy field. These waves can cause buzzing, emotional disturbances, and blockages in the pineal gland. Without diving into conspiracy theories, it's important to recognize that spiritual sensitivity also means protecting yourself. An open spiritual ear requires a strong, clean, and conscious energy field. How can you protect yourself? Practices like daily meditation, listening to healing sound frequencies, such as 432 or 963 Hertz, visualizing golden or violet light, and maintaining emotional balance are key. Low vibration entities are drawn to what's already within you, so if you're at peace, they can't take hold. When you feel a buzz, don't ignore it, but don't romanticize it either. Ask yourself what you were thinking or feeling at the time. Is there something deeper I need to hear beyond my mental chatter? The mystical ear doesn't just hear, it remembers, and remembering requires discernment. In conclusion, ear buzzes can be both blessings and warnings, signs of alignment or misalignment, messages from the soul or echoes of the mind. The key isn't the sound itself, but the vibration that accompanies it, and your ability to interpret it from a place of depth, not fear. In the next section, we'll look at how to incorporate this knowledge into your daily life, how to respond spiritually to these signals, and what habits can help you fine-tune your inner ear, one that, more than hearing, intuitively understands truths the outer world can't express. A signal is meaningless if you don't know how to interpret it. There's no point in receiving subtle messages if we don't learn to decode them or transform that information into wisdom. When ear buzzes aren't medical symptoms, but spiritual manifestations, they can become gateways to personal growth, but only if you listen with consciousness, humility, and discernment. Now, let's explore how to integrate this phenomenon into your life in a practical, meaningful way. It's not about obsessing over the sounds or trying to assign fixed meanings to them. It's about developing an energetic sensitivity that allows you to turn each buzz into an opportunity for inner connection and spiritual evolution. 1. Pause and pay attention. When you hear a spiritual buzz, don't just brush it off. Stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what was I doing or feeling right before I heard that sound? Is there something I've been ignoring or avoiding? Buzzing sounds often happen at key moments, like a quiet bell calling you to be present. If you make a habit of pausing each time you feel it, you'll start noticing patterns and connections between your inner state and what the universe might be trying to show you. 2. Do an energetic checkup. Reflect on your life and see if there are areas where energy feels stuck. Are there emotions you've been suppressing? Are there unresolved issues or draining relationships? Take a moment to check in with yourself without judgment. Often the buzz is your soul saying, "This needs healing." You can help by practicing deep breathing focused on your third eye, listening to calming frequencies like 432 Hz or 528 Hz, or meditating with the intention of opening your inner ear. 3. Create a channel for inner communication. Ancient wisdom teaches that the soul speaks in symbols, sounds, and images. Set aside time every day to open yourself to these messages. Keep a spiritual journal where you record each buzzing experience, the intensity, the ear it occurred in, and what you were feeling at that moment. Ask reflective questions like, "What am I not hearing?" or "What part of me is awakening with this sound?" Spend quiet moments listening, not seeking answers, but just being present. 4. Take care of your energy field. A healthy ear for energetic messages requires a clean environment. Limit your exposure to constant noise, negative news, unnecessary conflicts, and heavy energy. Surround yourself with things that uplift you: nature, calming music, silence, or art. Your surroundings influence your frequency, and your frequency shapes what you attract. 5. Protect your energy. Not every frequency we experience is of a positive nature. Make it a habit to shield your energy before sleep, meditation, or when you're heading into crowded or intense situations. Visualize a golden light surrounding you. Use sage or Palo Santo for cleansing, and affirm, "Only the highest energies of love and wisdom can enter my field. I am aligned with divine light." Don't fear or ignore the buzzing sounds. They are part of the new language of consciousness. Once you recognize them as guiding, awakening frequencies, you'll see that the universe has always been communicating with you. You just hadn't tuned in. The key is not to hear more, but to hear differently. In a world full of distractions and noise, there is a sound that doesn't demand attention, doesn't shout. It's the subtle buzz, a whisper not heard with the physical ear, but with the soul. A sound that appears without warning, as if from another dimension. And maybe it really is. Throughout this video, we've explored more than just the biology of sound. We've gone beyond the science and tapped into the hidden world of subtle frequencies, those vibrations that can stir the spirit. Ear buzzing is not just a physical thing, but a possible vibrational message from your higher self, your soul, or even the universe. When you understand that each frequency has purpose and direction, you'll begin to see the buzz as divine communication, a sign of change, an awakening of consciousness, a spiritual guide nearby, or even a warning of unseen energies. The secret is to listen, not with your physical ear, but with your presence. That often ignored sound could be one of the most powerful tools for expanding your awareness. Each time you hear a buzz, the universe is asking, are you ready to wake up? Are you willing to hear what your soul already knows? And here's the most important point. Not all buzzes are the same. Some are light and positive. Others may be interference. Your job is not just to believe in their meaning, but to become skilled at discerning the vibration behind the sound. Trust that if something resonates with you, it's because there's a truth waiting to be uncovered. Spiritual awakening doesn't always come in the form of mystical visions or prophetic dreams. Sometimes it shows up as a faint sound in the ear, a vibration, a call, an invisible note that only the aware can hear. Maybe that's why ancient sages spoke so little. They understood that true knowledge is heard, not spoken. So the next time you hear that buzz, don't ignore it. Sit, breathe, give thanks, and ask yourself what the universe is trying to tell you. While others search for signs in the sky, the wise know to listen to the silence. If this message resonates with you and you felt a familiar vibration, I invite you to join this community of conscious souls. Subscribe to the channel and keep exploring the mysteries of the soul, the signs of the universe, and the truths we've forgotten. Like this video if something within you has been activated, and share it with those who've heard the buzz but haven't listened. In the comments, let us know. Have you experienced buzzing in your ears? What do you think it means for you? Perhaps within that small sound, there's a great revelation waiting.